Hello, relatives. Welcome to this week's Schlagbite for the week, September 22nd, 2008, entitled, Don't Buy the Lipstick They're Selling. So I've been trying to avoid writing about the upcoming presidential election. I mean, who needs another blog among the millions that are already circulating? And the choices, they seem pretty clear. The Republicans, with John McCain, will continue to support the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They will encourage fear and domestic paranoia with perpetual code orange alerts. They will drill offshore, even though it would have a minimal impact at best, and it would take 10 years before anything's realized. I've had enough of that. And I sense that the American people had enough as well. But my smug certainty was rudely awakened after the Republican National Convention, when Sarah Palin was nominated as the vice presidential candidate. McCain is 72 years old. He picks a 44-year-old governor of a sparsely populated state, the mother of five, a born-again evangelical Christian with strident anti-choice and pro-gun views, and zero foreign policy experience. My initial cheer came from thinking her nomination was a death knell for the Republican ticket. Sarah Palin is not a pragmatic voice of tolerance and restraint. She is a soundbite, and nobody in their right mind would put her a heartbeat away from the presidency. But Palin became an overnight sensation. She tilted the polls, and what I thought was a shoo-in election has become anybody's race. In the process, we become so captivated by the lipstick chronicles that the substantive issues are not being addressed. So I finally succumbed to writing the Schlagbite after last week's Wall Street collapse. We are facing the greatest financial crisis this country has seen since the Great Depression. McCain's response was, and I quote, "Our economy is basically sound." I can't take that anymore. I mean, McCain is my senator. He has got to know that Arizona is already in recession, and that the fundamentals of our economy are not strong, that we are in a scary white-knuckle financial dive. And how have we gotten here? The Republicans opposed regulations for the financial markets. McCain's former advisor, ex-Texas Senator Phil Gramm, slipped an amendment into the appropriation bill and forbade federal agencies from regulating financial derivatives. The result is today's Wall Street collapse. And the government bailout that will cost taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars to ensure that investors stay financially healthy. But who is keeping the taxpayers healthy? Healthcare is the biggest sector of the economy, and Americans are struggling to repay medical debt. In 2007, 41% of working-age Americans, that's 72 million people, were paying back medical bills. People are being pushed over the edge. They are scrimping on food and home heating. They're accumulating credit card debt and taking loans, if they can qualify for them, in order to make ends meet. In our basically sound economy, McCain is going to address the healthcare crisis by pushing the individual insurance market. This is a surefire program to increase the number of uninsured, because that industry is founded on the principle of maximizing profits by screening out the sick and minimizing claim payments. The U.S. ranks highest in preventable deaths among 19 developed nations, and it's because of the uninsured and the many exclusions for chronic or pre-existing conditions. The for-profit health insurance industry has outlived its usefulness, period. As somebody who speaks to thousands of people in all levels of healthcare every year, I can tell you that we need to move to a single-payer national health insurance program. While Obama's healthcare plan does not yet get us to a single-payer system, he has promised in his first 100 days to require insurance companies to accept anybody who applies for coverage, expand the children's health insurance program, and look at the damage done to Medicare by privatizers. It's a much-needed and welcomed move in the right direction. I want a president who can see that the economy is unhealthy, that we are drowning in debt, and that much of it is healthcare related. I want a president and vice president who will change healthcare delivery to make it more fair and equitable. I want a president who saves the lives of all Americans, not just the investors. And I don't care if the lipstick is on a pit bull or a pig, as long as it's Obama who's dancing at the inaugural ball. So those are my thoughts for this week. Like it or leave it, irresistible. Remember, whatever our views, get out there and vote. And remind ourselves that together, connected to something bigger than ourselves, reminds us we're not alone and can make a difference in our lives and in the world. I say this for all my relations. Have a great week. Mitakuye.